What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on First Take, they're going to be talking about Pascal Siakam and a great game he had in Game 1 of the finals against the Golden State Warriors. So let's see what they have to say about him.
Who's most to blame for the Dubs losing?
Siakam. Siakam is most to blame for the Dubs losing. It's not that the Warriors played so poorly. It's that I want people to understand this is his first finals game. The entire question is Kawhi going to have an all-star caliber crime partner in this series? And this wasn't Kawhi as Batman even. This is Kawhi, as Stephen A will tell you, saying, like, I need someone else to do this tonight. And he's facing double and triple teams. Listen to this stat line. It's easy to just say 32 points. He was 14 of 17 from the field. 14 of 17 in a finals game against the Warriors. Hold on. He had 8 boards, 5 assists, a steal, and 2 blocked shots to go with the 32 points. It's sometimes it's not what you're not doing. It's that someone else elevates. Siakam elevated. He was the guy that Kawhi and the Raptors needed last night, and he's the reason they won that game.
So I definitely have to agree with Max. Siakam definitely had a great game, 32 points, and 14 for 17. He definitely was the reason why they beat the Golden State Warriors. Now, with that said, I'm not necessarily sure that he's going to be able to maintain that. So his playoff average is 19 points, and I just don't see him maintaining that. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to take anything away from him, but I don't see him maintaining that. And the Golden State Warriors are definitely going to switch up their defensive scheme. Rather than put 2 or 3 guys on Kawhi, they're going to spread the wealth and probably going to go to a situational double teams. Because you got to keep Siakam and Marc Gasol honest, because those guys just had completely wide open shots. I mean, there were some times that Gasol got the ball and the whole play just stopped, and everybody stopped to look at him to see if he was going to make it, like they were playing horse or something. So I think they're definitely going to switch up their defensive schemes. Marc Gasol and Siakam, they're going to get contested a lot more. And so I don't really see Siakam getting 32 points plus again and going 14 for 17 because there's going to be a lot more contention. And I don't see the Golden State Warriors playing as bad as they did. You know, I mean, Green had 10 points. I expect more from him. Iguodala had 6 points. He went 0 for 4 with the 3-point line. I just expect a little bit more. I can see them doing a little bit more. But let's keep going.
I hear spicy P. Spicy.
Got it. Spicy.
So I'm supposed to
Got
sit here. I'm supposed to sit here and surround myself with folks serenading a professional male athlete whose nickname is Spicy P.
Don't hate.
Well, you can definitely say he played spicy last night because he was hot last night. I mean, red hot last night against the Golden State Warriors. But like I said, I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain that. I don't know if Gasol is going to be able to throw up 20 points. I don't know if Van Fleet is going to be able to throw up 15 points off the bench. And I'm pretty sure that Iguodala, Livingston, Green, and all those guys are going to have better games. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in Game 2. But let's continue.
If I was him, I'd be embarrassed. Spicy P. I mean, even Swaggy P is better than that. I mean, come on now. Toronto, y'all. This is a phenomenal city. Oh, Lord, is this special? Okay, y'all are better than that. Spicy P. I mean, give me a break.
Stephen A on
That's
that one.
whack. All right, now, having said all of that, phenomenal game on the part of Pascal Siakam. I voted for him as my most improved player of the year. I know he's special, but that wasn't the reason they lost last night. The reason they lost last night was because Andre Iguodala didn't show up offensively. He gave you nothing. And if Andre Iguodala, listen, as great as Pascal was playing, as great as, remember, Gasol played well. Remember, Van Vliet played well. And still, Golden State was within 3 in the fourth quarter. So all I'm saying to you is that if you got a guy, one other guy other than Steph and Clay, that can hit a damn shot, I believe Golden State wins game 1. So I'm looking at not taking anything away from Siakam. Somebody would have done something, or they would have done it by committee. This is what we've been saying about Toronto. What was the difference? The difference isn't that. The only difference when you look at one guy stepping up, it's usually by committee, a plethora of them. That wasn't necessarily the case last night, even though you can look at Gasol and Van Vliet and point out what they did. The biggest difference was you had no one show up as a third wheel for Golden State. That's why I point to Iguodala.
Oh, part of that is the defense that Toronto is playing. Also,
but you talked about Siakam, not the defense.
But Iguodala going into the series, like we could play that game and say, well, Kawhi also didn't have a big game. That's why they were within 3, because he was hurt. Then someone else could say, well, KD's hurt and he's not even playing. Like we could keep playing that game. The bottom line is, Golden State were champions for a reason, even before KD got there. And even though it was largely because Cleveland was hurt with Kyrie and Kevin Love and it still went 6 games, they were still in the finals. They're a powerhouse. With or without KD, they're a powerhouse. And they're an experienced team. So you even make the point they're within 3 anyway, right? It took a special kind of effort, both ends of the floor, from a player other than Kawhi to pick him up. Gasol had a very good game. Van Vliet had a very good game. It is a team game. But Siakam was by far the best player in the game last night, and that's why they won.
Toronto, one more time. Spicy P! Spicy P!
Okay, so, with everything that he said, like I said, Siakam, he absolutely balled out. Really the Toronto Raptors, they had a great game, a stellar game. And I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain that. Like I said, they did very, very well with Van Vliet 15, Siakam 32, Kawhi 20. That's like an unusually well type game. So I would definitely expect a little less from them and a little bit more from the Golden State Warriors. And I don't want to take anything away from Toronto, even though I just did, because they balled out and they just straight up beat up on Golden State. But I'd be a little bit more secure with them winning and them being more dominant if the Golden State Warriors weren't playing so bad. Iguodala 0 for 4 from the 3-point. Livingston only 6 points. And Green 10 points. And I know Clay got 21 points, but I expect a little bit more out of him. So it's just kind of like one team did bad and the other team did good. So it's just kind of offset. So I don't know, but let's keep going.
Spicy P! 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 All right.
Wow.
Thank you, everybody. We just needed to do that for Stephen A. one more time. I just need to put a smile.
That's just embarrassing.
I need to see those white choppers
as
one
great
more
of a
time.
city as Toronto is,
Max,
spicy.
how impressed were you with Steph Curry? Because he had a game high 34.
I got to say about Steph, and I'm nitpicking now, I would have liked to see him. I felt he asserted himself at times in that game. But when it was a 3-point game, I didn't see him do it then. Now, it's a little nitpicky because how do you get it to be a 3-point game? Because he had to bring them back from it. Like they were, as I said, Siakam was outplaying everyone. I saw positive signs from Steph Curry. I've been critical of him, particularly in finals, where I know for a fact, I can see, and the numbers support it, by the way, he has been less than his not best self, even normal self in final series. And that goes for his whole career. I've seen positive signs. I thought he was really assertive, Stephen A., putting the ball on the floor, drawing fouls when his team needed to, keeping his team in the game. If he continues on that trajectory, I think he can put to bed the idea that he hasn't played his best in the finals. Look, these stats that you see with Steph Curry, Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan, these are the only players to score this many. Don't give me that. The Golden State offense is what it is. He's a great player. I get it. When they've needed him most, he's been less than his normal self. I think that may be changing. I saw positive signs last night.